Put your feet apart. That's out. Okay, place your hands behind your back, away from your back. No, behind your back, away. No, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Sir, stand up. All right. Hands behind your back. One hand, please. Stand up, please. All right. Move forward. Hi.
What should I do with his luggage?
Ladies and gentlemen, that shocking footage is of a friend of mine, Pastor Artur Pawlowski from Canada, who was arrested for the unspeakable crime of keeping his church open so his congregation can worship the God of the universe. Imagine that. What lessons are we going to learn from this, America? What are we going to learn from this world? I'm telling you, this is coming to our doorsteps. This tyranny, this man of God keeping a church open and arrested for it. I'm absolutely pissed off about all of this. And it's time that we take to the streets. The time of writing letters and emails to our representatives in Washington is over. Peaceful, massive demonstrations and prayer. He's seen it firsthand. What are we prepared to do? Are we prepared to lose our job to not get the jab? Are we prepared to not see members of our own family if we don't get the jab? We'd better be prepared. These are great, drastic times, and they require great and drastic measures, ladies and gentlemen, and we all need to stand up. We need to stand up to this nonsense. I'm here to speak today. I'm going to take a deep breath with my friend Artur Pawlowski. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, right here on the right side with Doug Billings. Let's go.
What you are experiencing is truth and knowledge in the place where liberal intellectual immaturity is exposed and determined patriotism is born. You're on the right side with Doug Billings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the right side with Doug Billings. It's my high honor today to have Pastor Artur Pawlowski with us from Canada. Now, Pastor Artur is a figure that we all know around the world now because of the treachery that has surrounded him and captured him and put him on trial for the crime, of opening a church and allowing his parishioners to worship their God. And in the government of Canada, ladies and gentlemen, apparently, in its lack of wisdom and its abundance of tyranny, have decided that worshiping the God of the universe and the creator of us all is a crime. And Pastor Artur stood up to these Nazis, and it's basically what they are. And he was promptly arrested and faced charges. Now he came back. He did a recent tour of the United States where I was honored to meet him at a couple of his stops, one in Kansas City and then the other in Colorado Springs. And he went back home to face these charges as a decent Christian man and pastor. And once he landed in Canada just this week, ladies and gentlemen, he was arrested. Now, he's been released and he's at home, but he's still facing these charges. I'm going to bring him on and let him tell us his story. Ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Artur Pawlowski. Pastor, welcome to the show, and thank you for the honor of being here.
Thank you so much for having me in. I mean, we had some unbelievable, amazing times together in different parts of United States. And just like you mentioned, I came to United States with a simple story. Look what happened to me. And if you're not careful, you're next. They came for me. Be sure of it. They're going to come after you as well. And that's how we met. And I did my best to warn Americans, to share my story, and hopefully to stir Americans up to achieve a pushback. I mean, that's what we need, a grassroots pushback against tyranny. And I'm looking forward to what is going to happen. I see more and more people rising up. More and more people are voicing what is, whistleblowers telling others what is really going on. So I'm excited about that. In Canada, we started to see the same thing. There is a little pushback as well. More and more people are joining against tyranny. So I think we are about to see some spiritual awakening.
Wonderful. Good. I think so too, Pastor. First of all, your call to us all here in America in your tour, you were calling on the lions of America, in your words, to arise and to fight back and to push back. And I agree with you. I think that we're seeing this great awakening. And the paradox is that the nightmare that we're in has become so bad that it's waking up more and more people, even people who may have thought that they, in America, for example, supported Administrator Biden. I don't really call him the president, but even if they formerly thought that they supported this guy, they look around the country and they look around the world, they look at your story, and they see the parallels. They understand that, look, here's Pastor Artur, born and raised in communist Poland, who has thorough experience of that nightmare, in now Canada, going down the same road, in the United States with its mask mandates, the jab mandates, our lockdowns, our shutdowns, churches closed, strip clubs open, liquor stores open, but churches closed, Pastor. It makes no sense. And I think you're right. We are in a spiritual war, and more people are waking up.
Yeah, I have been sharing my visions with Americans. I saw about 2 years ago, before this craziness started, I saw a fence, and I saw people sitting on the fence, and I knew the fence represented the whole world, and the people sitting there were just enjoying the ride, enjoying the view. And I saw a powerful hands of God, and he grabbed the fence and he shook it, and he kept shaking it violently until no one was able to sit on the fence. And when he was done, he spoke to me. He said those words: "When I'm done, everyone will have to make a choice, either me or the devil." And that's what we're seeing right now. There is this great separation between the sheep and the goats, and the sheep and the wolves. People have to make a decision on which side of history they're going to end up, an evil side or a good side. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. It's a war between good versus evil. Bullies keep bullying, evil keep spreading until, and it will keep spreading until the good people will say no more, stop and get out of my church, get out of my White House, get out of our places of, places of restaurants and houses and schools. You name it. It's time for the people to rise up and stand up and say, hey, this is my country, this is my inheritance. Who do you think you are? You uncircumcised Philistines, that you should defy the armies of the living God. Like I always say, lions never bow before the hyenas. We eat hyenas for breakfast, and it's time for the pride of lions, the biggest this world has ever seen, rise up and start pushing this great tyranny away from our homes.
It's, Pastor Artur, it is so unbelievable for Americans, and I would imagine for many, if not most Canadians. It's almost unimaginable that here we have a pastor who leads a flock of Christians at church. We have a pandemic that, and we can get into a debate on another time in another show about whether or not this pandemic.
So, which side of the fence are you on? Are you on the fence? Time to get off our butts, America. Time to get off our butts. The rest of the video will be linked in the description box. And by the way, hung out with Doug and about 3,000 other right-wing conspiracy theorists, I guess now we're called. They're in Colorado Springs last weekend. And Doug's a great guy. He's actually a pretty good singer too. He didn't sing there, but he was at the after party and sang. But the rest of the video will be in the bottom.